I'm not doing the intro again. You'll have noticed there's a new setup. Everybody meet, sort of, Brian. He's that little guy in the corner over there. I mean, not so actually little, but we'd still like to see him. We will get there. We will get there. But yes, his character is going to be interesting for y'all. Some of you know. Most of you don't. One of you has to. Previously, the gang is prepping for interesting and unusual bits and pieces heading down south. They're maybe 4 days away from the ancient green dragon they decided to call out, getting their message of, we beheaded your son and stuck his head in the square as a warning. Let's see what we can do with yours. And also flagging up that, yeah, we're actually going to rekindle the heart of Star Coast, not mentioning that that's slightly contingent on figuring out exactly how that's going to work. We know we have the pieces that we need for that, but what we actually do with them is still up in the air. We're working on it. But, you know, there's planning to be done. They're actually trying to be tactical about this. In that one of Hazel's foster mothers is currently trying to do a kind of a interesting take on prismatic wall. We're kind of turning it into a goldfish bowl. And getting, you know, armored up and bits and pieces, and we're still, if I recall correctly, on the tail end of Hazel's birthday. You're kind of settling in for the evening, and You were basically in the middle of planning stuff when we last left off. Before we kick off the rest of the session, one thing that in the midst of the planning, Alice kind of wants to do is turn around to Darwin and say, okay, I had a thought. Would probably work better if I could work something more hasty, but could still theoretically work. If we ever have to lead something away without getting dead. I can't do your dimension door thingy yet. Eventually, but not yet. At that point, it won't be an issue, but until then, I can take passengers. I'm strong enough for that. So, we're both loud, bright, attention-getting, and slightly obnoxious. Would you agree?
I might quibble about these slightly, but yeah.
I take down the average.
Fair.
Unless I want to, in which case I crank it to 11.
This is true.
You'll find that obnoxious volume control at some point. Anyway.
Eventually.
Anyway, point is that you can do the dimension door foop thing. So, if we need a thing to go that way while everybody else goes that way, I piggyback you. You annoy, distract, harm it. I mean, if you can figure out a ranged weapon, I mean, just about everybody can point a crossbow.
Yeah.
And you've got some other bits and pieces that can be sufficiently annoying. We lead it in a certain direction as far as we can. And then when it catches up to us, you dimension door us 500 feet right back in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever have to use this, but I thought it might be worth discussing it. And not necessarily in earshot of Ree, because you know she's going to give me that look, and I don't want that look again.
This is true. The concept is sound. I'm just us being bards. That was probably a bad choice of words, but
well, you know, you are pun bard. That's fine.
Yeah, even when I don't want, even when it's not intentional. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
no, that's
yeah, that's the thing. If you use them unintentionally, you can store them up for future use.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, no. I mean, heck, if nothing else, I mean, I can still craft a pretty good insult here and there. If you know, but yeah, no. I was thinking about getting my hands on something a bit more ranged anyway. I am in a position now to be more up close and personal, but it seemed like earlier everybody else was leaning in that direction. So I thought, I was sort of thinking about it. But yeah, you're right. I guess everyone can just point a crossbow. That's at least it's something, if
Yeah,
nothing else. So that's
I'm
a good point.
I'm lucky in that I've had to use a lot of different kinds of weapons, and you use the weapon that's available to you. Uh, and that's another reason you need to go back into town.
Aside from getting that breastplate, which I completely.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. I was trying. You see, that was me trying to remind you in such a way as to not
Oh,
specifically flag up the bit that you forgot.
that's okay.
And yes,
Um,
I'm teaching.
ah,
Doofus. Ruffle, ruffle. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to have that. Also, a good thing, particularly if we're dealing with like dragons or anything else that can actually fly, that can do anything ranged. You know what else you could do when we're doing that? It holds up the hand that on him has the tattoo.
mm, well, and I was, I had a thought. Um, I haven't tried it yet, but in terms of magic and things, I might be able to literally paint a picture with magic,
Yeah,
like
but
similar to what.
no, and that's worthwhile. But at the same time, there's a chance it can be seen through.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you do something like that, there is, as far
Yeah.
as at least if I remember from
So
flipping through some of the books. But
useful, but not in this particular context because we want them to know that they are chasing something they want to chase with no room
ah,
for doubt. And the
right.
only way we can have that certainty is for it to actually be the case.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean that in the context of it chasing us or anything. I just meant if it does go range, it's something that can be used that could potentially mess with it, at least in some fashion.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's just doing I mean, consider Corrivel.
Hmm.
If the enemy's weapon is spray and pray, to Tiamat in this case, it's not gonna matter what they're aiming at because they're gonna hit everything.
Hmm.
So if you don't want to drop out of the sky,
Point. All right. I got you.
belt and braces always. And but that is a useful thing for if we all need to be heading necessarily in the same direction and drawing something off isn't an option.
Right.
But also trickier with larger things and older things, and elves are pretty good at seeing through that kind of shit. Dragons are pretty good at seeing through that kind of shit. Lots of things are pretty good at seeing through that kind of shit. And then there's Lyra and things that have her kind of sight that it
Really
doesn't
matter. Yeah.
register at all.
Right.
So it's the right tool for the right job.
Fair enough.
But it's a good thought.
Yeah.
It comes back and to save some time here and to not have new individual sitting and getting bored. Barnabas.
YOLO.
Yes. Barnabas is kind of is at the mercenary camp. He's with a group called the Howlers now. Has been since Carter's Combine kind of cracked open, lost one of its better sergeants to godly shit. One of their better scouts to fuck a bunch of this, you all are assholes. And basically everybody who was in any way halfway decent merc left Carter's Combine immediately after the mess with the horrible, maddening black sludge and associated creatures in that cave in the Southernlands, and you were one of them. Because Barnabus is intelligent. Currently is with a group called the Howlers, and he's been thinking about weapons. Going with the axe sword thing we were discussing. So visiting the quartermaster, gnome, blonde, fluffy Einstein hair, no discernible gender, highly excitable. The bits of the tent supports are kind of smoldering at the moment.
This is either a very good sign or a very, very bad sign.
And entering the tent, you do have the gnome sort of hitting one of the support posts with a stick that lights up every time it strikes it. Is it? No, we turn the heat down. We turn the heat down. We turn the heat down. Thank you very much. A little more. Wham, wham, wham.
I can come back at a time when you're not doing whatever you're doing right now.
No. That's fine. It will take a little while for the bits to stop with the heat, but I think I have hit it as much as I need to hit it, and it is good that I have someone come in here now, because I have done the quartermaster thing. I have told them that the armor was going to take days, and the armor did not take days. So I would like you to deliver it. And grabs up this bundle of green studded leather armor, very, very deep green, nearly black, and just shoves it at Barnabus. I would like you to deliver this, please. And in return, you tell me what you want.
Well, I am looking for upgrades for a longsword and hand axe if you got anything kicking around.
I can see what I have, but I would recommend to you that the people to whom you're going to deliver this will probably have access to far, far better than my particular tent could offer you, because you see, now this is a little bit of a secret, except it is not so much a secret anymore because I think everyone is talking about it now. The former still singer of Valor, now just the still singer in general, she has moved here, and she is making horseshoes for farmers. We do not understand this, but she seems well enough, and now she is making armor and arms for adventuring types who are going to go off, apparently, and fight an ancient green dragon. The potion is going to have to wait, and I think it is only going to be one. You'll have to tell them this.
Potion's going to have to wait, and there's only going to be one. Okay.
Yes, that will be done in the morning, I think.
In the morning, you think? Okay.
Yes, it might be at like 2 in the morning, but I do not think that most of them will be up at that point.
Well, Barnabas doesn't really have anything else to do, so sure. Let's play
one,
delivery boy.
Yeah, one thing he hasn't asked yet is, wait, okay, where are these adventurers? Where am I delivering this? What the fuck?
So, I'd be happy. I got really nothing going on. I'd be happy to deliver it for you, but where exactly am I going?
It is one of those 2 houses by the fields in which we are camped. I do not know which one they live in, but it is one of the ones that looks like a hill with doors and little round windows.
Okay, who am I asking for?
You know, I did not get names. Although I do know one. They did not tell me the name, but I know her. This is a Sergeant Remy Cressman, except I suppose she is not Sergeant anymore because she is more than things. And yeah, that's your old co-merc.
Ah,
So I suppose in a pinch you can ask for her.
okay. All right. I'll be happy to make the delivery for you.
Thank you very much. Would you like a cookie?
I think I'm okay.
All right then. And he goes back to hitting support poles.
Backing away slowly. Backing away slowly.
So yes,
Crazy gnome quartermaster may go boom at any time.
yes. Well, you know about Egref gnomes. That was an Egref gnome. You did when you came to hear from Ravnica turn up in a gnome's shop on, ironically, Izat Lane, yeah, being told, I did not order a bullheaded man. So yeah, you know, Agrif gnomes and halflings. They're all kind of nuts. They've got nothing on the governor. Anyway, if you look to the map, there are two houses that look actually like hobbit houses. There's that one, and there's that one. Click and hold on the one that you would like to knock on the door of first.
Okay. Hang on, just futzing with the map here.
Yeah, if you zoom out, because you honestly never know what kinds of
Okay, I'm looking at oh, right, the green mounds are the houses, I take it.
Yes, they're basically hobbit holes.
Okay.
It's halflings!
Yes, halflings, hobbits, it all depends on where you... And, just so what was the name of the sergeant? That's one of the characters. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch it, and I'm trying to remember.
Crestwind. Remy Crestwind.
Remy Questwind.
Crestwind.
Crestwind.
Yes, there you go.
Gotcha. What the crap? I'll try knocking there.
Okay, you guys are watching as Alice teaches Hazel yet another dish as she's cooking dinner, and turning around to Clarity and going, "Yeah, I've been teaching her how to cook."
Yeah, she did well with dinner.
Well, you know, we're working on it. And there's a knock at the door.
Anyone expecting anybody?
No, but
Not
we've got
me.
family on the. Who wants to get it?
Yeah, that's the bigger question. Who's getting the door?
I'll go.
All right.
Okay, door opens, and what Ava sees is a little over 6 feet tall. I hate to say it, beefy individual. Literally.
Oh no!
Literally, because feet or hooves, bullhead.
Moo, motherfucker.
And yeah, what Barnabas sees is a human woman, white hair kind of tucked in a slightly haphazard bun, scar down one side of her face that just about spared the eye from the looks of it, dressed in deep red leather armor and looking a little bit concerned.
Hi. I was sent by a quartermaster with a delivery for, I believe, a Remy Crestwind of some armor.
Technically not free, but I think I've heard of you. Sort of. Not by name, but... Come in! It's cold out there! For, people who aren't me and Furseth.
Thank you. My name is Barnabus.
And yeah, Remy, when Barnabas walks in, she recognizes this guy.
Remy
Large
looks
minotaur,
back,
chainmail
then
armor.
does a double take. Barnabas.
Remy, it's been a while.
And
Been a while.
Alice is just laughing at this point.
Remy pauses because Alice is
Sorry.
giggling.
Sorry, it's just the gods live to mess with us.
I would ask how you ended up here, but there are a lot of mercenaries about, so I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, things went south after, back in the day, and so I hooked up with the Howlers, and I'm in the area, and the crazy gnome quartermaster wanted me to deliver some armor to. I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to be for you, but
Remy's never worn anything less than metal a day in her life. Yeah, to explain what he's seeing in this room. I mean, there's Remy, who's probably currently at least sans armor, but yeah, black scruffy hair, rather short, is a little taller than the average dwarf, but not by that much. Silver Dragonborn, a little taller than you, Barnabas. Not by that much, all things considered, but a little bit. Fairly simple gi. Basically dresses like a monk, is not hiding that fact one teeny tiny bit. Human male, sandy blondish brown hair, kind of flashy clothes, a certain lanky Han Solo, I don't really know what's going on, but I'll figure it out kind of expression on his face. Half elf, really fluffy auburn brown hair, really big anime style green bow in her hair, freckles across the nose, lots of greens and browns in the wardrobe. Knowing her, watching with, ooh, this is interesting, new people. And
partway through, leaned out and staring.
and humanoid, but the literally white gold hair and the general appearance of the closest you've gotten Ravnica is angels, but she's not really one of those either because she's lacking the wings currently.
But it's like, well, that looks familiar.
Yeah, there's very much a celestial aspect to her, but she doesn't currently have actual feathered wings. From an out-of-character perspective, what she is an Aasimar, but...
I was about to go, call Aasimar! Yes,
but I'm...
Or a tiefling with really good makeup.
Yeah, well, we do actually have a tiefling, in an interesting contrast, but not really sweet-looking tiefling. Reddish-brown skin, blue hair, tied in a braid. Currently fairly plain but serviceable black leather armor.
I'd also like to point out that there's a badger on my lap and a weasel around my shoulders, and I think it was a giant rat. Giant rat is nearby.
Probably giant rat being footstool.
Oh, yeah.
Menagerie.
Yeah. So Remy, are you going to introduce us to your friend, and vice versa?
Yes, this is Barnabas. He's a minotaur, he said. We were both in Cotter's Combine some time ago before.
Yeah,
kind of
very
happened.
quickly before the introductions begin in earnest. You do know that Carter's dead, right?
Yeah. She looks to Barnabas. Yeah, Carter's Carter's dead now.
Thanks to several things, including a scheduled bar fight. Didn't know you could actually schedule those.
And from what I've heard, it wasn't even. From what I've heard, it wasn't even a
Scheduled
bar.
fight?
From what I've heard, okay.
Well, that's just downright civilized.
See?
Actually, points.
Hazel?
You don't schedule bar brawls.
And the reason you don't schedule bar brawls is because the person who wants the bar brawl to end in their favor, no matter what, can use that prep time to get the drop on people, which is why the scheduled bar fight turned into a group poisoning.
Yeah.
Then it turned out he was smuggling artifacts he shouldn't have been touching out of the southern lands, and that apparently went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely recall he kind of melted.
Well, I think more crumbled. He kind of withered, and it was not. Oof.
He has chosen poorly.
Yeah, as I recall, that's what Darvin said when he was telling me this one. That's Darvin. He's a bard. You can probably tell.
I mean, if you're not and dressing up that way, well, then gotta wonder. But
Dude, from what I've heard, you've
I was
been
going
in
to-
Agref.
I was going to settle things civilly with Carter, but he wasn't interested in that, so...
No, he was interested in wholesale murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
he was.
Dishonorable wholesale murder.
well, he was never the nicest individual I ever met.
No, he was
Bless his
not.
heart.
But,
But now he'd be
went
wonderful.
from bad to
grit-
worse.
He'd be wonderful grit for icy sidewalks.
Mm.
He
That
can
bad.
be useful.
I mean,
Yeah.
waste not, want not.
Anyway, yes, introduction should probably happen. Alice Featherfall, hi. Actually, probably Barnabus has heard that name, sort of.
Mhm.
Something about somewhere in Alzor High, somebody matching her description soloed a red dragon. She did. Well, technically, gravity killed it. She facilitated. And yeah, probably by this point, there's also the romantic ballad adjunct that involves lovers deals with gods kind of thing. Which, thinking on it, sounds suspiciously like Remy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I am told I am Azamar. Sometimes I have wings. Sometimes I have Halo. Sometimes I get really, really angry and there's extra ice armor on people. And I do bard shit.
Barnabus Stumplefink, I hit things professionally.
I think we all hit things professionally.
She actually holds out a fist for Barnabas to bump. Here's to hitting things professionally.
Hoorah!
Hooah!
And then she just gestures to the rest of the room, waiting for introductions to happen. And then just
Everybody start at once.
then sort of grabs Ava and shunts her forward. Speak, woman.
I said I'm Ava.
Yes, but you were getting talked over by other people. So
I am Ava. Sorry about that.
Was you-
I haven't actually come across your kind before.
it's just as well here, as far as I'm aware. Basically, all of them are feral.
Sadly, yes.
From
they
what
are.
I've heard, he's
Looks
from
to LSA.
elsewhere. I hear rumors.
Fair enough. I'd
That's
never.
a long story.
And I'm sure we'll hear it sometime when you're comfortable. Meantime, and then gestures to Clarity.
I'm Clarity. And this is Norman, and she points to the badger. And this is Wendell, and this, and she's pointing to her ottoman, is Ramona.
It's a pleasure to meet you all.
And yeah, someone else.
It just gestures in Hazel's direction to let Froseth gather himself a little bit. Froseth being usually
If
quite
the
shy.
food's already
Yeah.
If the food's closer to sorted, I'm already heading out and setting a plate near Clarity. Hazel Hearthheart, question. You wouldn't happen to be hungry, would you?
Now that you mention it, I could definitely eat. He can always eat. I wouldn't want to impose.
We've got plenty.
Pull
Don't
up a
worry
chair.
about it. She was raised by halflings.
Second breakfast is a glorious thing!
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And I'm back in the I'm back into the kitchen to plate up more food.
Okay. And glances over at Froseth, who's the only one who hasn't.
I am Froseth Rhymehook. I also hit things professionally, just more quick, precise than overpowering like Alisay there.
It's also a pleasure to meet you as well.
Hey, I do precise too now. I just also do it incredibly hard. Either very precisely while screaming profanity or both.
Fair.
Besides, I think we all hit things professionally. It's just some of us do it stealthily, sneakily, and / or with magic. Some of us do it with bladed weapons and the holy power of a variety of gods. I guess that's kind of me too, but I'm a special case apparently. Or we word bludgeon people to death, and I do that one too. What is wrong with me? And some of us are sensible and professionally hit things from a distance all the way over there with small pointy bits.
No, there's no shame in doing that as a profession. It's just when I first showed up, I mean, my choices were find a job like that, be someone's henchman, or starve. So
Yeah, no, you were that physique was not made to starve. I can't imagine you scrawny. That just doesn't work.
You are pretty
second
naturally
that. Skinny
suited for
does-
this line of work.
Yeah, I second that. Skinny does not work on that frame at all.
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm going to
I don't
stop
know.
trying to picture that. It was making my head hurt.
Once people got used to the fact that I can talk.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did the quartermaster mention anything else about potion?
Yeah, he did, or they did. Excuse me. There's only going to be one of them, and it's probably not going to be ready until tomorrow.
She pulls out a silver coin, looks at Froseth. Heads or tails? You're a dragonborn. Tails. So, I'll let you choose. Is tails odds or evens?
Odds.
And that's a 3. Yeah, she flips it. Tails. You're getting it. I have self-healing.
I know.
They were banging something on the poles in the tent and shouting about the temperature needs to go down when I walked over, and I almost
Yeah.
I walked away very quickly. Put it that way.
Well, keep in mind when we first went in there earlier today, what we got was, and she does a pitch perfect imitation of this individual's voice. I have got the heating elements in place, and they have not set fire to the canvas yet. Clearly, we are approaching yet. Going back to her own voice.
Yeah.
So someone's gonna need to prep some buckets.
Well, if they were trying to take the temperature down, maybe they actually managed it. I guess we'll see.
Well, I'm not fireproof, and my fur does tend to stink to whatever god you may want to choose to believe in. If it does get set on fire, just as a notice.
I'd say I have. You know, I honestly don't know what some of our experiences have done to the whole belief in gods thing. It's like, we know they're there. We've spoken to a couple of them. Believing in them is a little bit like believing in the local apothecary. You don't have faith in them. They are just there. We know this. They talk to us regularly. Also, we've got about half of one in the other house basement.
I do beg your pardon.
It's a long story.
Okay.
Hey, Froseth, if you're looking...
Should we ask her about the thing?
I was just about to say!
Great minds think alike.
I'd say fools seldom differ, but I'm not going to insult Froseth that way.
You two are about the only ones of us that haven't been at one point or another.
I took on a red dragon solo. Are we calling that wise?
No, we're not, Darvin.
Given the circumstances, I can't blame you.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it wise. Yes, I approached it in a tactically intelligent way, but that doesn't mean that your immediate response to ancient-sized red dragon should be pop wings, grab axe, fly at it.
Okay, fair.
That's not wise. That's like doing the stupid thing in a smart way.
See, that's what I need more of.
Yeah, instead of doing... Well, look, if
would be an improvement over some of the things I pulled. You got to admit.
Well, if you want to play domino effect with some of the things you've done, some of the shit that's happened wouldn't have had to have happened if you hadn't done the things you've done. Same with you.
Some of which, if I recall, led to the rabbit scenario.
Yeah.
He used to turn into a rabbit. Yeah, he used to turn into a rabbit once a day. We're telling you anyway.
Oh.
Okay.
You're here. You're hanging out with us.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, we could actually use some company just to natter at the moment, if for no other reason than we're about to try and take on an ancient green dragon and possibly...
you're the ones that they're all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be us.
And speaking of, that armor is actually for clarity. So...
The shade of green should go well with your skin tone.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be lovely.
Thank you. Do I owe you, like, a tip or something?
No. Honestly, I agreed to do this just to realize I made a mistake walking in to save face and walk out. So I think we're fine.
Okay.
You're feeding
Thank
him.
you. Oh, all right.
She sounds worse.
All glory to the power of green!
In case you hadn't noticed, Hazel likes green.
You don't say.
Bounce.
I'm gonna go try this on. I didn't think it was going to be done so quickly.
I think.
Oh, they were crowing about, they told it would take longer, like the old quartermaster trick. If you always overestimate how long it'll take you to do something, people think you're a miracle worker.
I should remember to do that more often.
Yeah,
You already are a miracle worker.
I've set it up on your character sheet, by the way. So that's the various bonuses are now on your sheet and everything. So
excellent.
There's a knock less at the door than at the window, and you see a little dragonborn face, and then just stops and staring with a little dragonborn grin at Barnabas, because Faraday knew things.
Dun dun dun!
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi there. My name is Faraday.
I'm Barnabus.
Very nice to meet you. Is there a polite way of asking, what you are, please? Sorry.
I'm used to it. Most people are surprised I can talk. I'm a minotaur.
I guess I can see why people are surprised that you can talk, because I've been talking to Miss Twilly and I guess it's Mrs. Twilly and Mrs. Miranda, and they say that most minotaurs are, they don't.
They're feral, I know. I'm not from around here. Really not from around here. It's a long story.
I understand. I was kind of not here for a very long time.
It is a pleasure to meet you all.
Fine.
So, why exactly are y'all taking a personal interest in trying to take down an ancient green dragon?
Faraday's whatever message.
There is a valid answer, but
Faraday, who is whatever errand she was supposed to be on, is now taking a firm back seat, and she's just sort of watching.
It's a quest from the gods sort of situation.
So they really hate you, is what you're saying?
Nope.
Yeah, we did kill her child.
Well, some of the gods hate us. Tiamat really has a hate on for most of us, particularly me. That's not pleasant, by the way.
Probably second on that list.
Yeah,
Well,
probably. Hey, at least I pushed you off the top rung.
Begging your pardon. Did you say y'all killed? No, was this the son of a god or the son of a dragon?
No.
Dragon.
Sorry. Oh yeah. The ancient green that we called out, mostly so that we didn't have to face her in her lair, was the mother of an adult green dragon that was masquerading as this barony seneschal and running it into the ground.
So you're deliberately provoking an ancient green dragon, and you're also doing it in such a place where it'll be able to fly, as opposed to going after it in its lair where usually it's on the ground.
We've seen green dragon lairs. Do you know what they can do?
They can basically.
Never again.
Yeah, they
can manipulate their lairs to suit their purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be murderous.
Stuff will come out of the literal woodwork, and it's all evil.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. Well,
Also,
we always have enough room to fly.
Yeah. Also, and also, we do have what will hopefully be a decent contingency to keep it on the ground and/or weaken it
Yeah, because if Mom's spell works out correctly, even trying to move will cause that dragon catastrophic damage. And I mean, like, exploding bits flying off, catastrophic damage. Mom is very powerful.
And before you ask, she can't come with us because she's got like a dozen kids to protect.
Yeah. And and we're in the process of trying to resurrect my home, or old home, which is still weird to say. Which is still weird.
It's never not going to be weird, given the fact that most of Baronsphere is powered by the stuff that we're trying to bring back. The whole country has some inherent magical things, and when part of that got broken, the towns break. So now we're trying to fix that.
Not even so much the town, wasn't it? Basically the entire barony.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I figured I'd
yeah.
Vague it up a little.
He faced if he was with Remy in her old company, he faced down the same black ick nightmare that she did. I don't think we need to vague up shit for him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, basically, what's going to sum it up in Tiamat is apparently that stuff that you came across in the Southern Lands. She is using it, trying to, well, in the case of Star Coast, had infected the very land itself, and the core heart of the barony. Which we were in fact able to recover, but unfortunately the damage at that point had been so severe that the heart didn't survive. I honestly thought it was a lost cause until, well, we've got the parts. Apparently, Froseth is amazing. As always.
To be fair, so is Ree. She was the one who originally asked for the ability to do that.
Oh,
and given what she sacrificed for that ability, let's give her some props.
Very much so, yes. Thank you.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're going to be going to Star Coast to, again, like I said, resurrect the land, create a new heart.
We're just trying to figure out how, which is why mortal bits and personality of Wisdom God in Basement might be helpful.
Sort of see. Now, to just back this up a second here, you said Tiamat was behind that nonsense that I and Remy dealt with.
Not
all that long
really. Can I step in here?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically that gunk that you guys dealt with is beyond any of the planes we know. It's outside any of the planar structures. Any of the ones here, any of the ones we can access from here, the ones you come from. It's from so far outside that. It's beyond even where the creation myths say that the gods were when they created our world.
Okay.
It's large. It seems to be largely dormant, but it's been stirring in places. We suspect that there might be spots underground because some types of dwarves and the deep elves, the drow, they're almost unilaterally tainted now. There's a couple left. And there's enough uprising in places like that to start taking out Okay, we don't know if this is down to Tiamat or just down to them having some significant nightmares or something in their sleeping yet dreaming. I don't know. But actually, to be fair, what happened with the Dragonborn is probably more Tiamat involved. Tiamat's been looking for having thought back on some of the stories and things. She's currently stuck in Avernus somewhere, and she wants out in some form other than the avatar she's got here. That avatar's been poking at places where that extraplanar goo that's apparently basically trying to be more than just mind control. It's an actual meme. It's that thing that, you know how you say, try not to think of X thing, but because X thing has been brought up, you have to think of X thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, and it's twisted and it's tainted and it's nasty. But
it's like a physical form of that. It's like it's a fluid thought, which makes no sense.
In any case, it's been poked around with to the point where Tiamat's been using it via her little humanoid avatar and been wiping out Silver Dragonborn settlements. We don't know how far that's spreading. The ones that remain have some levels of protection, one way or another, but that's kind of why Tiamat doesn't like Froseth very much. I don't know if you know, but in this particular plane, the Dragonborn often follow... the Dragonborn, if they're chromatic or metallic, rather than mixed blood, they tend to follow the same effective nature, to an extent, of the dragons that were their forebears. I mean, Froseth takes the study in deep thought in different ways than, say, Faraday does. But they're both thinkers in their way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a silver dragon thing, which is why we're a little bit concerned that that's where Tiamat seems to be starting, and I'm wondering how much of that is her idea to keep anyone from looking too deeply into what she's doing, and how much of it is the extraplanar disease that can spread by thought as much as anything else, trying to get an inroad to the keepers of knowledge. That's kind of why we have part of the goddess of knowledge and wisdom in the basement.
Oh.
Because if that came into contact with the divine embodiment of knowledge itself, I can only say instant apocalypse.
Basically,
Blood raining,
sorry, go ahead.
raining from the skies. You know, the dead rising from the grave.
Actually, to be fair,
living together.
To be fair, the dead rising from the graves, we call that Tuesday.
Yeah, well. Okay, so Barnabas sort of actually... Is there like a stool around that he could sit down on?
I kind of figured he'd already sat down because food was
Okay.
there. It's
So-
actually sort of thin sliced meat and veggies, quite heartily spiced as it happens, because Alice is teaching Hazel another northern dish.
Any
So,
case,
yes.
he's sitting down. He sort of leans back. He reaches into a pocket that he's got on his belt. Actually takes out. What's the pronunciation for them again, Tess? I don't speak French.
Which?
The glasses that Roosevelt wore.
Pince-nez.
Yeah. He takes out one of those, puts it on his obviously custom job. Puts it on puts it on. Looks at. Would y'all like some help?
You actually want to come and face the... I mean, I'm if it Ree clearly vouches for you. I'm on Ree's side here.
Honestly,
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I love it.
Extra hands and punching out the evil black juju is always good.
Okay, we're gonna need to actually points at his pince nez. We're gonna need to give Lyra those. And it holds up her necklace that was used as protection against.
Point, actually, yeah.
And points at Remy's own. You know, we have a means of protecting, because if you'll remember, any kind of skin contact with this stuff.
I burned some very good men into ashes after all that happened. Yes, I do remember.
So it's not a permanent fix, but it gives you enough time to wash it off. It's not an immediate death sentence. So
Well,
if
then
we give that to our local cleric of Valor, she can sort that for you.
Not me, the one in the shrine.
Yeah, you'll meet her.
I'll be very happy to turn that over. I'll be upfront with all of y'all. You're dealing with some plane of weirdness. I'm not from here. I'm from a different plane. I would kind of like to go home. And there's a chance poking around will lead for me a way to go home. I'm willing to ride with you guys to hopefully find something to help me get there. Does that sound fair?
Well,
yeah.
Let's look at it from this point of view. If we do this, if we remove this threat, I don't know if we can kill it, but we can at least send it back properly dormant. Then the goddess of knowledge can be the goddess of knowledge and back in the pantheon again.
That is a good point.
And if anybody would be able to know a way to get you back,
Would be her.
and at the very least, they'd owe us. I don't know. I'm not sure how politic it would be to try to,
It's Shinira.
call a
Come
favor
on.
from a god. But
Come on, it's Shinira.
Oh, I know. But at the same,
I mean,
Let's not tease the poor thing.
If a goddess of knowledge also happens to go, there's nowhere for me to get home, that will be the final answer, I would think, which is worth knowing at the end of it. And frankly, I've been a little bored, so...
This is a lot more exciting than the usual work.
Well, okay.
You're gonna fit in great.
Yeah, trust me, you're not gonna get bored with us.
Nope. I mean,
Well,
I don't
your
know.
food is definitely better than the rations I've been living on for the last little while, so...
Yes!
That is a good incentive by itself.
Would you happen to have any coffee?
Yes.
Rummages and pulls out some of her really strong shit. Plunks it on the table. Hazel, you know how to brew coffee.
Yeah, I remember you told me how to brew this stuff, and I'm very carefully picking it up. It's just sort of treating it like a hazmat item.
Barnabus is drooling.
Do I even want to know how much is it coffee you've consumed? Because their percolators have to be insane.
Well, you saw a few, Hazel, didn't you?
No, that was out of character.
No. Oh, my bad.
Because this guy's from Ravnica, where the Izzet League exists. It's an in-joke that people that don't have or haven't read every single supplement won't get.
Fair enough. I should have clarified. I should have prefaced that with a clarification.
No, you should have shut up.
Also true.
But
Barnabus,
yes, it's still fair to treat it as a hazmat.
That means it's the good stuff.
Fair warning.
I appear to be stuck.
He's fallen off the other side of the set.
Fair warning.
There's a shelf over here, and now I'm stuck.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to turn off the camera while I extricate myself. This is going to
be awkward.
Good call.
So, fair warning, we if you're going to be with us for any extended period, you probably will wind up being adopted. I mean, literally.
There's
I
a
mean,
slight
haven't
weight.
mentioned
There's a slight weight on one of your horns, and if you tilt your head up, you can just about see the butterfly wings and green scales of a green fairy dragon sitting on one of your horns.
Well,
Hi, Flitty.
That's amusing. I was actually adopted back at home. I was raised by humans.
Well, now you're gonna get further raised by halflings.
Oh yes.
Um,
Oh yes,
I-
very much.
I mean, I'm 35. I'm
I
plenty
don't care
raised.
about that. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's not gonna matter.
Nope.
They've basically adopted me, and I was adopted by a northern clan. Okay, fine, I was like 13 at the time, but they will adopt you no matter how old you are.
I'm just saying that legally, I think adoption would be the wrong term for someone who has reached the age of majority.
Not
Welcome to Hearth Home. You are now family.
You're not from around here. They don't care. They want to give you a place that you can call home and a people you can call family. And the only way they can think to do that is by adoption.
it may not be.
Arguing about it's not going to get me anywhere. So,
No.
You haven't met Twilly and Miranda yet.
Speaking of,
Of course, Faraday's still been listening to all of it,
Yeah, the whole thing.
including every single detail about the.
Yep.
She's just sitting.
but nobody said anything, so I'm
Yeah, and when people start looking at her, it's like, you've actually remembered I'm still here. Darn.
Froseth has remembered the entire time.
Of course he has.
that I didn't say it. You were saying it. I didn't say nothing because you were saying. So hey, okay.
Anyway, Faraday, what was it that bring you here?
It was just that Mrs. Twilly and Mrs. Miranda were checking to see if you needed anything. And then you were talking, and then it was really neat.
Can you guys?
I don't think.
Yeah, we can't really argue that. I'm handing the biggest mug we've got over to Barnabas.
Yeah, you can. Everybody in the room can smell the coffee.
Oh.
Well, I'm awake now. Just a waft as it goes by. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Waft, but yeah.
Thank you.
So the important question is do I have to make a fort save or not?
It's Constitution saving throw, and this is the first time you've had Alice's coffee, so yes, you do.
Okie dokie. Like I said, the good stuff.
Yeah.
Prepare to see through time.
His con save's actually pretty good, so.
I can see noises.
Okay.
Basically, if you go to your character sheet, just next to your actual stats, you'll see saving throws. Just click on the word Constitution. Yeah, his modifier is a 6 for that. Why? Oh, fuck, I forgot to...
The auto advantage thing.
I always forget to turn that off. Why
I
did
don't
it...
know why it's automatically on.
Okay, hang on.
That's just like the default for some reason, unless you manually change your baseline settings.
Don't auto... Okay. Advantage toggle. There we go. Okay. Sorry, can you try that again? Because there's such a disparity between those rolls.
Absolutely. Also, just as a heads up to everybody, I don't really know much about 5e. I play a lot of Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition.
You do not have to apologize for that. Most of some of these folks are new to it too. The only reason they've been at this, the only reason they might be a little bit ahead of you is they've been playing in this particular campaign longer. They've watched other people play, and there's enough house rule to make that iffy. There's people have played previous editions, which brings its own problems. Yeah, you're currently vibrating. This is stronger than the shit that you had back at home.
Who's out of character? Whose coffee was this?
Alice is the one who actually has the coffee, and she taught Hazel how to brew it.
So while vibrating, Barnabas basically turns to her and goes, "Madam, please let me know who is your supplier, because I'm gonna need some more of this."
Wow.
I've got a few people that I can talk to, but it's kind of bouncing around various bits of Equitas. I've lived in a couple of different places. There is actually stuff that's stronger than that, but I don't break it out for these guys because I'm afraid Hazel would vibrate through the floor.
Ooh.
She's not wrong. I probably would. This stuff alone, as I said, I see through time when I drink it.
You see through time when you eat chocolate that's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's just this sort of look of processing. Oh dear.
Oh, thank you again for the good stuff. It's been a long time.
Speaking of things that we can probably provide for you, Darvin, in the stories that you told me, you were talking about life wards. You still have yours.
Yes, I do.
Remember that candy Hazel gave us? You
Yes.
don't need it.
No, I do not.
Points at Barnabas.
Mm-hmm. So, was that? Did we
Yes.
actually divvy that up, or we did? Okay.
Mhm.
Then Darvin will pull his out.
Basically, you're handed what in the out of character world is basically a mint lifesaver. Don't eat it yet.
Save that.
Okay, may I ask why?
Basically, I don't know if you've heard of it, but there are such magic as a life ward. Basically, if something manages to hit you hard enough to knock you out, and you've already consumed that, you'll at least stabilize.
You'll spring right back up, basically.
I wouldn't say spring right back up, but you'll at least not be at risk of
All right,
dying at least immediately.
I'm gonna have to dig up the actual rules of this because I have a feeling you might be misremembering a couple of bits and pieces.
Well, thank you. Sincerely, thank you.
Out of character, I thought it was similar to the tattoo, where you basically just come back to 1 HP. You're still out, but you're not at risk of making death saves.
If you have 1 HP, you're not out.
Oh, then maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah, having HP is...
Basically, if you fail 3 death saves, you are supposed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
If after consuming one of those, you are knocked out and fail 3 death saves, you get back up with 1 hit point.
Well, that's incredibly useful and nice. Not dying is always good.
I will throw some pretty intense shit at you guys, but I don't necessarily want your characters to die. Basically, the nicer the shit I give you, the more afraid you should be.
Boy.
You can all attest to that.
It's like most video games. It's like, oh, look at all the health and ammo. Uh-oh.
Something like that.
In
Yeah.
a shell nut, yes.
Yeah, basically, it's like, wow, this is a really convenient save point. Why did the music change?
I was just about to talk. Oh shit, boss bike.
Yeah, actually, speaking
I
of...
can hear
And yeah,
Boston
so
music.
given ancient green dragon, yeah, you should have one of those.
Possibly. The thing is that, remember, greens in general are sneaky motherfuckers. We don't know what she's gonna do and how she's gonna handle that. We know she's gonna be pissed. Does that necessarily mean she's gonna be stupid about it? Particularly not when she was only just yesterday, wasn't it? Sending out assassins? Actually, no, earlier today, wasn't it? Christ. Sorry, that kind of got blotted out by being hit by moose.
Sorry.
That's okay. I didn't want you to get hit by moose. I am more solid than you. I didn't want you starting back up with these guys with your very first encounter being whammed by angry moose.
I'm going to attempt to latch onto clarity around the menagerie. Just comfort hugs.
Yeah,
Except Hazel tear.
Wendell is trying to bite you.
Hey!
Because it's right around your shoulders, you said, so you're
completely
leaning.
Completely out of character. I suddenly started hearing music. Is
Yes,
that
that's me.
Okay.
That's intentional.
That's you guys mentioned music and I realized I'd forgotten to switch it on. So
I just making sure.
yeah,
Not sudden anesthesia.
I picked up how to do that because reasons. Anyway, yes. So and of course you guys will come back to the conversations. You still got Faraday going. So you don't need anything?
I think we're good. Anybody?
There's nothing in particular I need right now, no?
Do you want to introduce Mr. Barnabus to...
Yeah, we're gonna
We
need
should probably
to
go
take
over
care
and
of
make
that.
introductions.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, and...
He is going to be noticed by
Well, and given that
one or another if he sticks around.
I'm a little hard to miss.
And yeah, well, Evan is going to point out that you are not a moose.
yeah, I was actually kind of wondering.
Yeah.
how that was gonna go.
I'm sure he's going to do that because he always laughs. He always points at the cow and laughs about that.
Oh.
And talks about say he needs to make sure that everybody knows what is and is not a moose because Uncle Darwin didn't know the difference between a moose and not a moose.
Yep.
And you're very aware of what a moose actually is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my ribs are certainly aware, even if they hadn't been from. To be fair, we used to ride either moose or dire moose, depending.
And the fact that those exist.
There's good eating on a dire moose.
Yeah, just
forward
the
to-
thought, considering how big the moose was.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to experiencing that. I just wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine you getting the same treatment that I got from that moose from a dire moose. The word is, and she just makes a gesture then, wee.
The word is cake pans.
No, because they'll fling. So there's some chunks of moose antler would sort of probably lodge under the rib cage and fling.
Has the neck menagerie successfully bitten me yet?
No, because Wendell rolled a 4, and I'm pretty sure that your AC is higher than that, even when you're not wearing armor. but he's still trying. So it's gnawing at various bits of your vest. It starts getting a bit problematic when he starts trying for the bow.
Hey,
No,
hey,
no.
hey!
No, be nice.
Hazel, you might want to stop squishing Wendell.
I'm going to carefully rearrange, still trying to hug, but less squishing the menagerie.
But around the neck and sitting down, and there is no way
It doesn't work, and I basically fall over.
And you swear you can hear the weasel going.
We need bigger chairs.
And Norman actually looks up long enough to badger Blip.
Right. Introduction time. And then
Yeah. On that
Scrambling
note,
to my feet.
on that note, this is probably a good time to take a break, which is good because we're at about that time anyway. So when we come back, we'll introduce Barnabus to the rest of the Hearthhearts. Oh God, I'm going to be NPC for days. And we're back and boogieing apparently. Sorry, when Ethan does it, it's pretty much de rigueur. When Antheus does it, it's fantastic. Thank you. That's made my night.
You're welcome.
Praise be.
So yes, Farad is leading the way to the other Hobbit house.
I grab my training bow as well. Since we're going there.
And it's winter, by the way, for Brian, so you don't have too much of a problem because, you know, hooves.
Yeah.
Woof, 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 but everybody else is grabbing coats. Well, except for Alice and Furseth. Furseth because of what he is, Alice for other reasons. It's a thing, but yeah, she doesn't bother with any of it.
All right.
And in they tromp through the snow, and Faraday is the first one in, going, Mrs. Tully, Mrs. Miranda, there's another one. Different type of person. I know you collect them.
And I'm cackling and falling into the snow.
I wasn't planning on being part of a collection anytime soon. But...
It's a compliment, really. Further into the house, and when Barnabas enters, he was probably a little bit more focused on ancient green dragon world-ending extraplanar disease meme,
Mm.
to put together things like Twilly, powerful wizard, and the name Hearthheart. In Belarus, there's a legendary mercenary company, was a legendary mercenary company. They retired about 40 years ago, but they're still sung of, called the Quick Flight Diminutives. In fact, in the in one of the nicer taverns in Belarus is called the Book, Bow and Dragon, which is apparently named for the Twilla Quick Flight wizard, Rand Hearthheart, Rogue Ranger, and Lyra Sweetwater, Cleric. End of it. Twilla Quickflight and Rand Miranda Hearthheart, who there's actually pictures of them. One of them is actually on one of the walls in the Guilds Hall area of Belarus.
Mhm.
Are the two of them are the two that you're looking at when you walk in to the house, having to duck a little bit because it was apparently largely made for halflings and small children.
So ducking more than a little bit.
Well, there's enough space for somebody who's, 5'8", 5'9", or so, but when you're getting to 6 feet, you have to duck a little bit because they do have some older half-orc individuals who come in at times.
Mhm.
Oh! That's funny, we were just talking to Faraday about minotaurs.
What time of day is it?
Evening. You've just had dinner.
Good evening. My name's Barnabus. They wanted to introduce me to you.
Twilly Hop, hello. Blonde. Sort of puffy hair, not quite managing to quite stay in its bun. Very, very mom-ish. And from a chair in the corner, halfling woman. They're both sort of early middle age, so for a halfling that's about 60-ish. Well, 60, 80, something like that. Very short brown hair. Kind of a little taller than the average halfling. Very sharp eyes. Looks... Greetings, Barnabas. Do find a seat if you'd find that more comfortable. I do understand that our ceilings are a bit low. You have the look of a mercenary.
You would be correct.
Oh, always a pleasure. Then looks at Remy. I take it you two are acquainted?
Yes, we worked together with Carter back in the day. Back in better days.
Glances over at Barnabas. My condolences.
It was a living at the time. Everyone's surprised I could talk, so I kind of had to grab whatever I can get, you know?
Oh, I can entirely understand. Keep in mind that when we were starting out, it was, how can you have a mercenary company when almost everybody is shorter than 4 feet?
So that was a very fun time.
You may have heard the songs.
I have.
We used to hide it. We really don't see any point at this stage. And poking from a corridor, lots and lots of kids. One really tiny, red-haired, freckle-faced gnome points at Barnabas. No moose! Uncle Darvin, no moose!
Yep, they haven't.
Who's closest to Barnabas?
Evan, probably. Of the kids.
He's kind of got a strange smile on his face and sort of leans over and goes, what's a moose?
Hang on! Your comes back with this battered picture book. Clearly hand-drawn. Very clearly very much cuddled, and he clearly will not let it out of his grip, but he opens it to a picture of a moose. Moose!
Ah.
Hey,
Yes,
Evan. Hey, Evan. We saw a moose today. We petted a moose today. You don't want to try that. And opens her shirt enough to show the start of the bruises. That's why. Okay. If when I'm older I get better with animals, can I maybe pet a moose? From what I hear about druids, kid, if you get older and get better with animals, you can be a moose.
Oh no.
Now I'm just picturing a red-haired moose.
Jesus planted.
And there's other kids. A couple of half orcs, a couple of half elves, one blue-skinned, black-haired, red-eyed tiefling, couple of gnomes. Dwarf kid comes pottering up to you. Barnabas looks at the horns and goes, "Have you ever thought about, like, having metal bits, like filigree but tougher?"
Actually, yeah. I used to own a set a long time ago.
I bet I could make you some.
That would be lovely.
Miranda's that's Oscar. He's the jewelry maker of the family. If you want to do that, Oscar, you'll have to do it relatively quickly because you do know we have elsewhere to be. Okay, Mama. And just starts pointing. That's Keth, 15-odd-year-old half-orc. Ramas, 13-ish half-elf boy. Lissy, 13-year-old human girl. Mela, very dark skin, puffy hair and fun buns, half-elf. About 11, 12-ish. That was Oscar. He was dwarf. And Zana. They're about the same age. Zana, gnome, so shorter yet.
Mm-hmm.
You've met Evan.
Mm-hmm.
If no moose, then what?
I'm what's called a minotaur.
Leans out, points, it sort of patters up to the nearest window, points in the general direction of the barn. No minotaur!
Is the cows out there?
They're in the barn at the moment, but he's aware of that, so.
Yeah, I have no idea how to try to explain my species.
You're a person with bullface.
Yeah, that's probably that's the easiest way to put it, yeah.
It's like Mr. Froseth and Faraday are people with dragon faces.
Mm-hmm. Now, just as a word of caution, if you see another one like me that's not like me, that's not me, most of them are not good people. Just so you know. Just because I'm friendly doesn't mean they are, okay?
I can be real sneaky. I can be real sneaky.
Good, good.
And yep, suits word to deed by effectively vanishing.
Uh,
Barnabas perception check.
All right. Nope, that was persuasion. Excuse me.
That happens.
There we go.
Good enough. Once Evan has vanished, that belt pouch you pulled your pince-nez out of seems a little bit heavier. Not much, but a tiny bit heavier.
I open it up.
There is a small cheesecloth sack of small, squidgy, rubbery things shaped like bears.
Ah, you've been reversed.
I like it.
It's candy. Those are good.
Okay.
Evan has a tendency to reverse pickpocket. And occasionally pickpocket. But this was in reverse.
From somewhere, probably under furniture somewhere. I do not. Yeah, he's sticking to his guns on that one.
Evan is wonderful, and I love him.
And it finishes the introductions with, obviously, you've got Evan and Skylar, who is currently wearing her platinum, her platinum-plated scale mail, and Dawn, little half-orc girl, waves extra little at Ava.
Barnabus is clearly like, I'm gigantic, don't scare the kids. Don't scare the kids.
The kids are not scared. The kids are fascinated by you.
Yeah, but
And you've clearly met Faraday.
he's intensely aware of how big he is in comparison to all the kids, put it that way.
He's not from around here, and it's a really long story. Is Faraday's comment on the whole thing.
That is the long, the short of it, yes.
And Candor's going, so basically what you're saying is, much like you, we shouldn't ask until we know him better, and maybe with, like, hot chocolate and cookies and things. Yeah, probably. It's polite to wait until he at least remembers everybody's name. There's a lot of us. So,
All glory to Hearthhome.
So, is Barnabas being amongst you and being introduced to the family mean that he's going to be with you all a bit more long term?
I think so.
Yeah, well,
Like it.
He offered to assist us.
yeah,
Do
Barnabas,
you do you want to let Barnabas speak for himself?
Sorry.
I know I've worked with Remy in the past, and as they did say, I'm not from around here at all. And when they started mentioning what was going on with stuff that seems to be planar in nature, I am looking for a way home. So that this is like the only lead I've come across in. How long would you say I've been here, Jam?
I think you'd said a few years. I mean, Remy. Yeah, Remy had been with the companies a year or so before the black shit happened, and then she spent another year as a paladin. So at least 2 years, possibly a little more.
I haven't had any sort of sniff of why I'm here or anyway. Anything you vaguely related to that over 3 years of looking, so I did kind of jump at the chance to help. And frankly, from what I was hearing about trying to fight an ancient green dragon, I think they could use as much assistance as possible.
Just to let you know, you were kind of breaking up on my end there.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. I'm just saying, I got the gist, but hopefully I got all the nuance too. I mean, we only ask because if you are going to be staying, this is more or less a central base of operations for everyone, and we'll have to see if we can arrange a room for you.
I'm not picky. I could sleep in the barn. It would be fine.
Excuse me, this from Twilly.
Hmm.
We have better hospitality than that.
Even Darwin's like, yeah.
I'm getting out of the way and inching towards the way down to the basement to say,
What is the point of being a wizard who can move Earth around if I can't build an extra room onto a house in the hill?
You just don't need to take any trouble for me, ma'am. That's all. I'm not.
I'm a halfling!
I am. And he's digging himself deeper and deeper.
This is how we know he's part of the group.
Oh,
I'm trying to win. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
he's
win
one of
clarity
us.
over. Just time to get out of the way.
I'm a halfling. Hospitality is what I
Darwin's
do.
just. He's one of us.
Well, ma'am, thank you for any efforts on my part. I sincerely appreciate it, and I did not mean to give any offense. I don't want to put anyone to extra effort. That's all.
You were doing so very, very well. I like the extra effort. You don't understand. If
Well,
I
then
didn't
how-
like the extra effort, would I be raising a dozen children? Would I have raised children for 40 years?
He's just standing there with his mouth open, going,
Miranda from her chair, not even looking up from whatever it is that she's knitting, is going, Barnabas, just say yes, ma'am.
Yes, Twill.
Even better. Well done.
He's one of us, all right.
All I say is just sort of, yeah, kinda. All I say is just sort of, while you're earth moving, did you want any help trying to get something resembling furniture in there? Miranda is still not looking up. I'm sure that Hazel and Clarity will be able to at least figure out if we can pull one of the old beds for the larger folk out of the basement. We can reduce its size and move it fairly easily. If you two do want to sneak down there, there's no splashback to worry about getting caught in anymore.
Alright.
Okay.
Say hello to Shanaira for us. I think she's about ready to go up for her first scouting expedition. Maybe you can make her feel a little better about coming with us, because we can't leave her here.
I'll try.
And Twilly potters out, grabs her shawl on the way, and it's like, I'm going to go and make your room now.
Thank you.
Twilly was unleashed upon you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or Barnabas.
Ava
Just trying to be polite.
Sorry. Sorry,
worry,
guys.
don't-
No, I want to hear this mostly because see, this is why we like having video, because we can see if somebody's getting talked over. Ava, sorry, continue.
I lean towards Barnabas and say, "Don't worry, you'll get used to the overwhelming kindness."
I believe the term that Hazel used from Alice A from the other side was aggressively hospitable.
Two.
I haven't run into that much in my life, so it's a bit of a shock.
Halflings.
Hard to get used to as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I haven't yet, so don't worry.
I thought you were
about
heading
it.
downstairs. I thought you were heading downstairs with Hazel.
Well, I wasn't sure if we were already out of the room.
Well, you probably not in a place where you'd have to sort of step back up and lean back to get back involved in the conversation. If you heard that last bit, you can.
Maybe
if you
called
want.
it over my shoulder.
And Miranda's like, well, we're just going to keep doing it until you do get used to it, dear.
I know. Mosey downstairs.
Downstairs is dark. I mean, you guys have dark vision, and you can see just about, ish. But it's kept dark enough so that if you guys shut the door, not even the tiny bit of light that dark sight will tend to need, because usually at least a tiny sliver. If it wasn't for the open door, you wouldn't be able to see shit. And all of a sudden, from the dark, because everything else just blends into the black and white, just eyes. Oh, hello.
Hey, Shanaira.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Looking at Clarity. You've been away a while.
Yeah. Well, doing research. Came back to help. Possibly more.
I'm sure everybody's happy to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. Sort of. I mean, it's still good. Just sort of see.
You know what I'm like, and it's bright and colorful and kind of loud up there. And there's even more loud and really interesting foot sounds. They don't sound like...
You made it.
Last time I heard hooves was when they turned that guest man into bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
except
we
there's
made a
only
new friend.
2 of them.
He basically is a bull, but he walks on just 2 feet.
He's a minotaur. We've made a new friend, as
Head
one
tilts.
does in the Hearth Hearts.
Head tilts. Ravnica.
Wait, what?
What?
What is that? I don't... What's that mean?
It's a word I associate. You have to ask him. Just tell him.
Okay.
Ravnica did might. I don't really know what goes on with me sometimes. You know, my head isn't always solid, and sometimes I know things, and sometimes I don't know why I know things. But
yeah,
Minotaur, he talks and thinks and doesn't like indiscriminately smash things.
Yeah,
he discriminately
actually,
smashes things.
He hits things for a living, and he's very personable.
Ravnica.
Like, probably the most polite person in the gaggle for now.
Looks at Clarity.
Save Clarity, because she just also came back.
Also the noble lady. And the dragon born.
A little bit different there, I think.
But still very polite.
Oh yeah. Very true.
It is not good to denigrate the manners of your friends. Or so I assume.
You're right.
It's...
No, you are 100% correct.
Oh good. I have some understanding of how friends work. Okay, that's a little creepy. Anyway, sorry, was it just to say hi? People do that, right?
Part of it, yeah. They definitely wanted to come in and say hi, but also, since everyone is going to be evacuating for a bit, Mom and Mama wanted to make sure you came along.
Do they have an underground? Where we're going? You don't remember.
There might be.
You never looked.
I don't actually remember, but Mom is at the very least should be able to improvise something if you need it.
I like it here. There's
Yeah.
things.
It's just not going to be the safest, and the kids will need another person protecting them.
Oh, right. That's the thing that people do. Yes. And I like the little silver shiny one. She comes down very, very early in the morning and she asks me things. She's very, very polite about it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That is our glorious little Faraday.
Okay. I'm sure she told me that, but there were so many questions. And she got me to talk.
Oh, yeah.
She just got me to talk. Thankfully, she only does that about once a day, because I don't think I should take any more than that.
Outside of that, we're looking to revive the Heart of Star Coast, and we've been trying to figure out how to do that. And given you came up with the dragon information just kind of out of the blue, we were wondering if maybe you would know something.
Not to you. You wouldn't understand it, and you wouldn't be able to explain it.
Yeah.
You're the ingredient, or you have the ingredient, or both. You and the flame of life and vengeance. And the other, the traveling wind. The river that dances or rages. The tilled earth. Those are the components. They are nothing without the one who draws the elements. So I can't tell you because you're what needs to be drawn from. You wouldn't understand how to draw.
We'll have Froseth come down if you'd like.
Good, he's easier to talk to. Sorry, but you're very bright. Like you're
Yeah.
for all that you're Earth, you're also sun.
Praise Paylor, I guess.
Sun and a different kind of fire. And
Well,
while the
thank you
While the
again.
while the winged one is nice, I can't be too near her because too bright hurts.
That's alright.
It's like being out in the sun.
Well, I'm gonna head back up and get Froseth for you before I go. Hug? And I'm offering.
Glances over Clarity and is sort of a, please don't get any ideas. I can't do this very much, and then very awkwardly. Clarity will be reminded of the first time she tried to hug Hazel. I don't think I'm doing this right.
You're doing fine.
Still.
And then sort of draws back. Okay, that's. I'm sure I'll get used to that someday.
Thing.
You can't see it, but there's a general sense that there's probably someone waving.
Just like sort of a vague Tracy outline, because like she seems to just draw light in at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Weren't we supposed to get some furniture from down here?
I can look.
Yeah, we gotta find.
I can look. It's okay, because I think I can see in this better than you can.
Alright.
Turns around to Clarity and doesn't hug, but reaches very tentatively and pat on the shoulder. Pat.
Bye.
She's trying.
Right?
And up these two
So
tromp.
we're in- I'm just like looking.
Barnabus, by the way, is now surrounded by all the kids who are
That
asking
didn't take any time.
asking him questions of things like what he likes to eat, and we asked Mr. Froseth why he didn't have teeth like someone who eats veggies, but he eats veggies, and they're asking if you eat meat. And Alice says he ate it at dinner just fine.
Remy snickers at his expense.
Yes, I'm an omnivore. I'll eat meat and veggies.
And so you have meat-eating teeth? You must do if you can eat meat, so...
Yeah, he opens his mouth like it's he can see. He does.
Actually, you actually get Faraday sort of leaning up and looking. Neat!
Like it's like person teeth in a cow mouth. It's weird.
Yeah. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, you got kids asking favorite foods, types of music, all kinds of stuff that he probably doesn't know how to answer.
No idea whatsoever.
I mean, he's probably picked up a few favorites here and there, but they're from sort of the country next door, and most of these kids haven't heard of most of it. And they're offering him things to try that he might like. More suggestions than anything else at this point, but might be waffles for breakfast tomorrow.
Praise the power of waffle.
As Hazel comes back in, and this is probably a good time to bring up the word that Shanaira used.
Well, I'm looking, seeing the surrounding of kids, and wondering, bring it up now or wait until things are a little less mobbed.
Well, you got Faraday looking at you expectantly. What? You want to say a thing? It's written all over your face.
Yeah, I do, but
Got the look
often enough I say things at the wrong time, so just wanting to double check
It's like-
first.
Hazel, if they don't hear it right now, they'll find some way to get it out of somebody, and it will drive us crazy for the rest of the evening.
Fair enough. Barnabas?
Yeah.
What's Ravnica mean?
You've never seen 6 foot something of beef stand up that fast.
His horns actually get lodged in one of the one of the support beams.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Where did you hear that? And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to damage the ceiling. Who told you that word?
Shanaira is the one downstairs, and she's also looking for the furniture right now, and Fro says she needs to talk to you.
And
That's
once he dislodges himself from the beam,
gently dislodges himself from the beam,
I will pull over.
putting his hands up to make sure nothing falls.
I'm gonna give him that one. I'll be kind just this once.
I will. I'll
Next time you're rolling.
I'll pull over a stool and do a little bit of mending on the beam.
Going to be, and you just get him singing.
Just very faint, just try lower volume so y'all can keep talking. Going to be better. Going to be better.
Alice pitches in.
That's where I'm from. in the basement said that?
Shinaira.
Who is Shania?
Yeah. Remember who we told you about earlier?
Oh. So she knows.
She knows things. That's her entire deal. When she's not scouting out in the night, she's reading, and reading.
Can I talk to her? Would she let me talk to her? Is that allowed?
That's mostly up to her. You can introduce yourself, but who knows how far that'll go.
And I'll say, during her last bit of mending, why don't you get Froseth to make the introduction so that she can at least get used to her? The thing that kids do know, the thing that can be said fairly easily. Remember what we said about the drow and the Duragar?
Yeah.
She's one of the last few that didn't encounter the stuff you did.
Oh.
She's been on her own since she was, in elven terms, really small.
Oh.
Literally alone.
She's quite shy around people.
To put it mildly, she's trying to cope, but there's a lot to cope with. So if Froseth, who is one of the gentler souls among us,
made the introduction, that would probably be for the best, yes.
It's basically as much a warning to, she's got some issues, and she might not always be able to give you all the information you might want, so please don't, I'm sorry I'm making assumptions, but I've been working with these guys for a while, so it's kind of one I have to make. Please don't verbally or physically shake anything out of her.
Okay. Thank you for the warning. I would have defaulted to either good cop, bad cop, or yelling, just because it's been so long.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I mean, part of the reason I was saying that is because in points that they now mended to support me.
Right, and again, I apologize about that. I'll be happy to do something to make it up for that.
It's fine. We fixed it. And Miranda, who still hasn't even looked up, magic is a wonderful thing.
Like I said,
Yeah.
like I sang, going to be better.
I like that you essentially sang it to lullaby to make the beam be better.
That's his thing. I default more to gesture, but that's as much a northern thing as anything else. Anyway, if you want to catch her before she does her patrol, you might want to...
Yeah.
While she's still kind of used to having people around as well.
Froseth will start heading down there and then stop for a moment to see if Barnabas is following before going all the way.
He does very well. As gingerly as 6 foot something of beef can.
Well, you've got 6.5 foot. You've got 6.5 foot of dragon, and 6 odd foot of magical knight on the hoof. So yeah, what you've got is a small door leading down to small stairs. Froseth is okay because it's not overly wide. Barnabas kind of has to squish a little bit. It's dark down there. I don't remember if minotaurs have dark sight.
I don't think we do. Let me check.
Nope. You are basically stone blind.
Dragonborn don't have it either, so...
Yeah, it's just given that I would have thought that possibly because labyrinths, but no, that's the Kryn labyrinthine memory thing. So yeah, it's all you're getting is that little bit of light coming from the open doorway, and both of you roll me perception with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay, how does one roll with disadvantage?
Okay, if you look at your character sheet,
Do I click the thing that says disadvantage?
disadvantage, yeah. Just remember to click it back to normal afterwards, because that's your toggle.
Gotcha.
8.
13.
Yeah, no, you guys see absolutely squat right out, but you hear... Oh, this is the Minotaur.
Oh.
Yes, Shinaira, I know Hazel mentioned to you why, and you wanted to talk to me about that. I figured while I'm here, I would introduce our new friend, Barnabus.
Quietly from somewhere in that massive darkness. Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Barnabus, as he said.
Not chaotic. Good. Not Rakdos. They were weird.
No. How do you know that?
I know things.
Do you know the way for me to get home?
Not right now, but I'm not what I'm supposed to be. Sometimes I get things, sometimes not so much. I have a feeling if I knew that, I'd be in more danger than I already am. So I can know things enough to let people know that I might know more things.
I see.
Which were you?
The Zorius.
You've never heard Shinaira come even close to laughing before.
I was... Yes, laugh it up.
No!
I was acting...
It's not because of you! Forces of order with them.
I was a patroller. I worked in the 10th district.
I feel for you because I know what it is to adjust to things being entirely other than you're used to. You're going to have some adjustment to do beyond this world.
Yeah. For everybody who doesn't get it, he was a cop. Literally. Literally was a cop.
They're good people, but I guess law is very different here.
It is. It's very, very different.
And it's also very different from them.
I do have another question you might be able to know something about. What is this? And then right next to him, he manifests the echo.
There's pause.
So it's a shadowy version of him, but there's... Am I allowed to embellish it a little bit?
If you like, as long as it's not anything that affects what it can actually do.
No, not at all. Just, it's a shadowy, translucent version of him, but there's occasionally, like, it looks like it's crackling with, well, white, red, and blue lightning every so often, kind of subtly, if that makes any sense. Doesn't make any noise, though.
That's not from Ravnica. That's not from here either.
Ever since I've been able to do this ever since I arrived.
That's Exandrian. It's a different plane. You passed through a different plane. One where fate and, I guess, chance and potential are manifest. And some of them can manifest that potential into a fellow warrior. They call them Echo Knights? So you passed through a place and picked up something from neither the plane you began or the plane you ended up. It's kind of like if you passed through a spider web and something clung.
It's not contagious or a danger to anyone, is it? Would you know?
You seem to have control over it.
It's something that I've worked on since I got here, since I realized I could do it. There's nothing else to do.
If it was a danger to others, it would have been a danger to others by now. Just be glad you didn't try working on it too much in Eggref? They would have put you in bottles and studied you. I don't think you'd like that very much.
That's sort of how I ended up here, so I was familiar with the type, put it that way.
Yes, you would be. I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you. And if there's ever anything I can do for you, just let me know.
You're working with them. I think that's enough. Although, and very, very tentatively, she steps into what little bit of light remains so that you can at least see Drow. Less thin and nervous than she used to look, but still largely hooded, although she does pull the hood back enough to... She clearly doesn't like even the slight bit of light coming from the open door at the top of the stairs, but there's sort of a very deep grayish blue skin tone. Very, very white hair. Very, very pale eyes. So she lets you see her for a second and then put back up and woof back into the shadow. It seemed polite. I'm getting used to polite.
Thank you. You didn't. I appreciate the effort. You did not have to do that for me. I'm honored.
There's a sense that for a moment it's just, you can almost feel the hesitance, and then very, very lightly on the shoulder, pat, pat, pat. I need to speak to. You seek to draw less earthly elements, don't you? No pun intended. It's just... sorry. Broseth.
Yeah?
Business.
I will leave you two to it. Thank you. And he goes back up the stairs. Looking a little shell-shocked.
We'll deal with shell-shocked in a minute. She said you're rekindling a heart.
Plan to try.
She thought she could relay how. Boundless optimism. You usually use the more visceral element affinity. Fire that's kindled from wood and sparks, that kind of thing. This is the same principle, but a different feel to it. It involves knowing what it is of them that makes them... How do I even phrase this? You see, this is why it couldn't have been Hazel. The bard. The male bard. Music is the air. It's in it, woven from it. How it moves, that's what music is. To channel air that way, you would need music from him. The female bard, the barbarian, the too bright one. Similar concept, different element, different way of expressing. Water dances.
Okay.
Fire doesn't just burn, it doesn't just cause pain or cook things. It brings light. It brings protection. If her light can come on a source of her protection, that could be something you could draw.
Light from her protection?
What she uses to protect herself or others.
Yeah.
For Sethi's wise enough, she's got a shield.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Earth is tricky, but Earth nurtures, Earth provides sources of growth, renewal, healing. You need something a bit more expansive than a person. But you'd have to ask her about that.
More expensive than
Something nurturing and helpful and supporting that doesn't target a person as much as the area around.
Okay.
It's about
Yeah,
as best
I'll
as,
have to work with her.
That's about as best as I've got as far as that goes. It's a different kind of lore, and everybody who follows the gods does their own thing a bit differently. You'll feel those if you focus right. And you should, when those four elements are being expressed in the right way, you should be able to coalesce them, given will enough. But that's focus. And that's on you. That's strength of will, strength of mind. One distraction and you have to start all over again, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Also,
That's a lot.
I know, but you're asking for a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you've given exactly what we've asked for. It's just a lot to take in.
You've had a lot to take in for a long time.
Yeah.
Same as me. A little different. Not as much different as you'd like, probably, but...
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I think I know where there's a Barnabus-sized bed back here. Maybe a chair.
Right.
Big puffy thing. And probably an end table. I'll try to mark them with something before I go scouting so that the wizard one can come down and shrink them, maybe.
Find them easier to shrink and bring them over.
Well, she'll have light, but if you tell her to look, clearly thinks about it, left and towards the back wall.
Okay.
I'll sneak out after you while you're distracting them with getting little ones tucked in and things, because I guess you're probably not going to want to talk about intricate Zen mastery of elements in front of the little ones, however much they probably wish they could hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially Farida would hang on every word.
I'm sure you can tell her about it later. Actually, that's... Oh, this is going to be very, very difficult. If you want to be able to get out and talk to them about things, I'll go help get people tucked in, because having me around will distract from you and Barnabus. Probably having that look like somebody bumped him between the eyes.
If you're sure.
Comes out of the hood, tucked very, very far up. Up the stairs. Okay, who wants help being tucked in? And they stop.
Follows up after.
Vroom, and they stop, sort of hugging her. Thank you for doing that. Okay, I'll tell you what. If everybody gets themselves tucked into beds and everything within the next 5 minutes, I will tell you all the story of how I briefly became Queen of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Be right back. 30 seconds.
Looks over. No, there were myconids, seriously. And the kids are just zoom.
Well, now I want to know.
I'll tell you later. Important things. I was being a distraction because important things.
Your sacrifice is much appreciated.
And Miranda, who hasn't looked up in all of this time, yes, they do have quite a bit to discuss, and we will produce some scones with that jam that you like, and some blackberry tea. Thank you. And goes in and starts helping the girls get tucked in for the story of how she basically tripped over a myconid encampment and wound up dealing with a problematic cloaker infestation, and thus very briefly became their queen. She's probably exaggerating the queen bit, but knowing my kid, it's not by much. So anyway, yeah, so you went...
Freaking shroom people.
For you guys, first it was Barnabas coming up with bull looked like poleaxed bull.
So that was a thing.
Thing I could
I'm not sure. We haven't known each other long enough for me to.
You'll
Ask.
ask when you're back at Fort Cupcake.
Yes, thank you.
The little ones are going. Excuse me, Mr. Barnabas.
Yes.
We don't know you very well, and we're not going to ask leading questions. But would hugs help? This from
Yes.
this from the 6-year-old half elf in the scale mail.
He stands there for a second, like, and then sort of like, yes, actually, they would.
And given his size and their size, because a lot of them are like gnomes and things like that, almost a dozen kids. The only one who sets a little bit apart is the tiefling and the human girl. And they're like, we're not huggers much, but we're gonna direct the hugs from a distance, and we have fudge. Twilly taught me to make it, and I didn't burn it or anything.
Barnabas he's tearing up just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And Alice, who's not looking at him, just I've told you, aggressively welcoming.
I see what you mean.
And yeah, Lissy sort of comes and offers a tin with chunks of slightly awkward-looking homemade fudge.
He's definitely gonna try it.
Family.
It's quite good. It's just awkwardly shaped.
The shape does not affect the taste.
And once the various bits of huggings have more or less subsided, by that point Furseth is back up looking thoughtful.
Were there kids dangling from the horns?
Of course there were.
Evan, certainly. And during the hug, you had the green fairy dragon landing on the other one, and Skylar going, "That's Flitty, by the way. You don't speak Draconic or Sylvan, do you?"
No, but hello, Flitty. Feel free to perch there whenever you like.
Very happy looking. And Hazel is just getting, "I have a whole new head to sit on, yay!"
Flitty is very happy to have a new perch.
He seems nice.
Said you seem nice.
Thank you.
You have been adopted by a flitty.
And in Sylvan from up in the rafters, what most of the rest of you recognize as Jaloy, he's not gonna move things in my house, is he?
Oh yeah, Barnabas. And I point to the dollhouse.
No, the dollhouse isn't up there, but Jaloy is up there watching the proceedings. So when Darvin points up, you see Pixie, green skin. Actually, dress seems to have been made out of a handkerchief rather than the usual leaf and petal wear. Looks at. He's not going to move things in my house, is he?
Fair warning. Her dollhouse. Don't move anything in there. She's got it to the way she wants it. Trust me.
I
Don't move
understand
anything.
completely, madam. I shall leave your property unmolested.
Looks at Darvin. I don't understand common very well. And you don't.
No. I'm just
going to like try to word for word translate.
Okay, because that little rat, he's being new next. And Evan still swinging from the horn happily. I'm telling you, she's arranged it all wrong, and every time I try to fix it, she turns me into something else. It was a raccoon earlier.
And it's her house. Let her do it the way she wants it.
But she's wrong.
It doesn't matter. That's her choice.
And that's the point at which Shinaira distracts them all with the story of Queen of the Mushroom People. And they're all just, it was nice to meet you, Mr. Barnabus.
It was nice to meet you all.
So,
Right.
and
Okay.
Miranda's just, you might want to use the distraction appropriately. Did anyone say anything about the furniture? To the left, towards the back wall.
Back and to the left.
I will.
Back.
I will let.
To the left.
I will let Twilly know when she comes back. Given the amount of time that takes, she should be just about done with the actual room by now. If you'd like to go and check in on her and send her back.
Can do.
So back to Fort Cupcake you go. There is actually a sign Barnabas saw when he first knocked on the door that literally reads Fort Cupcake.
Yeah, that's
You don't need to explain. I understand now.
We are the Cupcake Coterie.
yeah.
That may or may not have been Darvin's fault.
It was entirely my fault.
I thought it was at least partially Clarity.
Well,
I think so. I think you and I both came up with it roughly about the same.
Well, I think from what I heard, you came up with it, and Clarity just kind of drove the point home anyway.
Yeah. I nominated and Clarity seconded. There we go.
As
And
you can tell, I translate this lot into like sensible, sentient being.
I tend to be an enabler. I've had some thoughts about this.
Just a bit.
Yes, and as you come in, there is in fact an entirely new door, and the Twilly is hanging a little sign on it that just reads Barnabas. Right, did anyone say anything about furniture?
What do you say? Was it back into
To
the left or
and
left
at the back.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, she opens the door, and it's a whole new room, sizable. It should be enough to fit, the bed, the chair that Shinaira was talking about in the end table.
thank you.
And there's a window. Somehow she has got glass. You have a feeling that some significant evocation magic and some sand was involved. I'm quite proud of that. All right, I shall go and reduce size on some furniture.
Oh, one second, if I could trouble you. I meant to give this to Dawn, but I didn't get a chance. Things got a little chaotic.
You can give it. You can give it to her in the morning. It should come from you.
All right, fair enough.
It's all right. It's been a bit of a busy day, but we've got waffles tomorrow.
Praise the power of waffle.
Well, you had your cake pans yesterday, so pat, and you. I'll bring your furniture in a minute.
Welcome to Hearth Home.
And then sort of pokes her head back in, and I'll slip it in very quietly. You won't even know I'm here. So go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, so
Right. Well, sorry, Hazel, but before we get to, do we have any of the blackberry tea here? As
Probably yes.
Because I would love some. That sounded just brilliant. I think I need some.
Alice goes, and I'll make tea. You guys duck. I can
Thank you.
listen.
So,
Right.
sorry, Hazel, go on.
So, Barnabas, what, if I may, what did you find out? And also, what exactly is a cop?
No, he didn't say that in character.
No, he didn't.
No.
Not to you guys.
Lindira and I both thought he did.
No.
Sorry, but I try to make sure anything I say out of character does not have the southern
It's okay.
drawl.
They don't have a problem with an IC-OOC divide in themselves, but they can't always tell when somebody else is doing it, and that's another reason why vid is a good thing to have.
I actually have been, while we've been doing this, looking into it. I think I got to figure out how to make Discord work on my phone, but until I actually buy a webcam, I think what we can do is have a separate name, whatever, of me on the phone, using the phone as the video, and just muting it and going through audio like normal as a workaround until I buy one.
Well, it'll just go through the phone entirely, audio and video.
Right, but like I'm not talking about like right now. If you, I'm Toll Shack on here, so I just start a different account for it and use that as the video. Or is that too weird?
No.
Yeah,
you
because
won't-
we've had Ben, when he's had issues with Discord on his computer, literally just use his phone, video and audio. It picks up perfectly fine.
Oh,
So you can just use the Toll Shack name on the phone.
okay.
Because if you were to try it the other way, we'd have two boxes.
And
you.
we're pushing the limit of screens we can have as it is.
Okay. Well, then that will be the step in until I actually purchase a webcam. Hopefully, when the prices go back to somewhat normal, they're at least almost doubled what they were before all the nonsense.
Well, I can kind of imagine that, but we can help with comparison shopping in any way we can. Meantime, because the conversation that we're about to get into is going to be a bit involved. And, you know, there was some stuff that I was thinking of doing, but with a new character to add in, probably wasn't the best day anyway. We'll leave it for now, and when we come back in 2 weeks' time, we will have Barnabas give whatever explanation he feels like, have Furseth explain what he managed to get from Shinaira trying really hard to people, and continue preparations to revive the heart of a barony and kill whatever an ancient green dragon throws at you, up to and including potentially the ancient green dragon herself. See you guys later.